and the imposing presence of Mount Taranaki in the background, the home of the Ranfurly Shield. It's Stadium Taranaki, Pool D, Wales and Namibia. As we check out the Pool D table, we see that there's a possibility of 3 teams finishing up on 15 points. But Wales looking for a bonus point victory. They still have Fiji to play. Namibia yet to have a victory in the tournament. Well, the weather has been absolutely glorious today. There is quite a reasonable breeze. The pitch is absolutely superb, but the chill factor is very much a factor. Well, this may well be the last supper for the Namibian team. They complete their 4 matches in the pool stage, the first team to do so, and they will be heading out. They're going home, the Namibian players, on Wednesday from Auckland. But they certainly have some good patches. They've had some very good support. Just remember the population in Namibia is 2.3 million, but only 1 million registered players, and a lot of these guys are amateurs. And it really is mission impossible when you think they've had to play 4 major test matches in 14 days, and just a 4-day turnaround from the loss to South Africa. There's Nico Esterhuizen, the giant lock, and Jacques Burger, the magnificent captain. Let's check out the Namibian lineup. The front row props Weirder Linghuis and Du Toit. Du Toit, his final test. Hugo Horn is the Namibian record holder. The locks are Heinz Cole and Nico Esterhuizen. They started against South Africa 4 days ago. In the back row, the experienced Du Plessis on one flank, the inspirational Burger on the other, and Jacques Nieuwenhuis is the number 8. And the halves, Eugene Yankees, the scrum half. Tiaan Kotze, the fly half, leads the drop goal with 3 in the tournament. It's a new centre pairing, a first start for Daryl De La Harpe and Pate Van Zyl to outside centre. And if we look at the back 3 for Namibia, they have a tall winger in Dames. Danny van Wyk moves from outside centre to wing, and the courageous Christander Botha at fullback. Well, I'm joined in commentary by South African World Cup hero from 1995, Cobus Wiese. It's another big task for Namibia.
It's a huge task for Namibia. Beautiful evening in Taranaki country as we see these guys warm up. It's their last game, as you mentioned earlier. They're going home, but they've had a great experience. And against South Africa, although they took a hammering, some of their players really put their hands up, especially that loose trio of Burger, Du Plessis and Nieuwenhuis played exceptionally well.
And there's O'Callaghan, the hooker. He's on the bench today, but he's another one who really performed very well. And what about this guy? He's amazing.
Great captain, great leader. He puts his body on the line every game, Burger. The question is, will they have enough ball possession from this Welsh pack? Otherwise, they'll be in for a long evening, Namibia.
The Welsh fans, well, they are really enjoying their tour of New Zealand. The weather's been very kind, and of course we know how passionate they are. The Welsh team have really impressed us with their mental toughness and also their fitness. They're possibly the fittest team here at the tournament, and a lot of that goes down to their cryotherapy chamber in Poland. They had a couple of sessions over there, but a lot of very promising young players there. Stephen Jones going through, and a big opportunity for a lot of the fringe players to really make an impression on that man on the right, Warren Gatland, the Welsh coach. Let's have a look at the Welsh lineup. In the front row, we see the return of the veteran Gethin Jenkins, and a first appearance for Craig Mitchell. Hooker is Lloyd Burns, the Newport bricklayer. The locks are Bradley Davis, his 27th cap, and Alan Wynne-Jones gets a 3rd straight start. He's been outstanding. In the back row, the former skipper Ryan Jones returns after injury to join the current skipper Sam Warburton and the 20-year-old sensation Faletau at number 8. In the back line, Tavis Noyle from Llanelli, and a new Welsh record for Stephen Jones, his 101st cap tonight. And in the centres, it's an all Glenelg Scarlett pairing of Williams and Davis. Scott Williams, the youngster. And the back three, where we have a big winger in Aled Brew and Halfpenny, a hero against Samoa when he came on in the second half. Lee Byrne, his first appearance in the tournament. Well, down on the touchline, we have a former All Black, in fact, a dual international. He played a test for Croatia. Matthew Cooper, take us through the conditions in these two sides tonight.
Well, excellent conditions. Good evening, Gordon. A little bit of a westerly that'll come from left to right on the screen, but beautiful conditions here in Taranaki this afternoon. And both sides, Namibia playing with a lot of heart. They've had a tough draw, as we know, and they've had some special moments. But these guys, I believe, are the dark horses. They've got an outstanding leader in Sam Warburton. They're a very balanced side, and they've got a lot of steel as well. So this Welsh side is well settled in New Zealand, and they could be there or thereabouts later on in this competition.
Yes, Faletau, the young number 8, a very bold selection by Warren Gatland. And I must say the temperature has dropped alarmingly over the last hour or so. So those in short sleeve shirts are very brave. Referee tonight is Steve Walsh. Sam Warburton, the 22-year-old captain, on the right, and Jacques Berger. Well, Berger saying that, yep, he's won the toss, and it looks as though Namibia will be running from left to right. So we're in readiness then for this Pool D match. This is the easiest clash for the Welsh team. It really is a horror pool when you think that you've got Fiji there, you've got South Africa, and also Samoa. But the Namibians, they really want to make a statement here. They performed very well against South Africa for 60 minutes, but then conceded 7 tries in the last 20 minutes. And the hard part is, Cobus, that these got to back up again only 4 days later.
It's been a very tough task for the Namibian side, as you said. And these guys, the Welsh, well, they are very much in this competition. They need a 5-pointer here tonight.
Really is a splendid scene here at Stadium Taranaki, and Taranaki winning the Ranfurly Shield, and so they are the current holders. And Jacques Berger and Sam Warburton, the 2 number 7s, 2 brilliant flankers, about to lead their sides out. And tell us about the atmosphere down there at pitch level, Matthew Cooper.
Well, just starting, isn't it? You can just feel it, both these sides. The Namibia, they played, as I say, with a lot of passion, but the Welsh just starting to really get excited about this Welsh side, as I mentioned. And the crowd very at either end quite full. A lot of Welsh people in New Plymouth.
And huge moment for Stephen Jones as he passes Gareth Thomas, a new Welsh record of Test caps. Stand by now for the Pekaya traditional calling. It is Pool D. Wales on the left taking on Namibia. Namibia currently ranked 19th in IRB rankings. That's their highest ever ranking, but that will probably slip down as a result of their World Cup performance. Looking at the Namibian team, they've made 3 changes. The loss to South Africa. Horn and Dutoy are new front rowers. Backs Daryl De La Harpe gets his first starting ball, and number 12 and 13 move out 1. Porter at fullback. 11 changes to the side for Wales that beat Samoa 17-10. Only Wyn Jones, Warburton and Faletau are retained in the pack. and only number 13, Jonathan Davis, stays in the backs. Stephen Jones, his 101st cap, passing Garrett Thomas, a new Welsh record. On the benches, it's a first start in the tournament for the big lock. Gazombiazi, and also the 7-star for Lander, and for Wales number 16 Owens, hoping for a test debut and a first tournament appearance for prop Bevington and scrum half Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you please be upstanding for the national anthems of Namibia and Wales, recorded by the New Zealand Symphony Orchestra and performed tonight by the New Zealand Choral Federation Anthem Choir.
Local time is just gone 7:30 here in New Zealand. It's a lovely evening, a cold evening, and I'm joined in commentary by Cobus Visa. Now, the Namibians, Cobus, had gone through this ritual before the game of getting in a huddle about an hour before the game and going to different spots around the ground. What's that all about?
Honestly, just to sort of absorb the atmosphere, get used to the crowd around, and sort of just fire each other up, saying, guys, this is our last chance. Let's go out with a bang. Let's give the Welsh a good run for their money.
Dila Harp then pleased to get his first start. His brother Ryan will be on the bench tonight. There's Dutoy, the oldest member of the side, prop forward. A lot of very tough customers in that Namibian forward pack.
Couple of hard men, but that's where the foundation will be laid tonight for Namibia. They need to control the ball up front. Give those backs, like this guy, Chrysander Boerta, who's very dangerous from number 15, a chance to join the line.
Pool D, Stadium Taranaki, Wales and Namibia. Referee is 39-year-old Steve Walsh. His 4th World Cup, 33rd Test, formerly from Waikato. Stephen Jones gets proceedings underway here at Stadium Taranaki. And a little hint of a knock-on. And acknowledged by the referee. So an untidy start by Namibia.
Not a great start by the men in blue. Welsh immediately getting that put in the scrum. That's where they also want to dominate in the set phases.
So they've got a westerly that's coming from the Tasman Sea. It's coming from the Namibian side, left to right on your screen into the corner. So they hopefully can use that ball early, Kovis, to see if they can get to that territory they're looking for, the Namibians.
Touch. Pause. Free blue. They can't move when you're moving.
Well, they'll certainly, Matthew, be tested in the scrum. Namibia, it's a very experienced pack, especially Gethin Jenkins is a difficult customer for the Welsh.
Distance a bit closer, please. Black. Thank you, guys. Crouch. Touch. Pause. Engage. Dropping down.
Keep the heads above the shoulders. And so an early opportunity here for Wales. And remembering they need bonus points in this game. But it's been a tentative start.
They do need a bonus point, you're right, but the win is the first prize, then the bonus point. And this man, he can be deadly with a boot. Stephen Jones.
One of the key things for the Welsh, and talking to Warren Gatlin before, it's about control, it's about patience, it's about getting a good settled start. And it's the right decision for Stephen Jones, the most capped ever Welshman here tonight. They're playing in their alternate strip of black, the Welsh. And that wind will be going from left to right. So he's just got to aim a little bit to the left. He's not too far out. And a man of his stature, his ability, he'll be looking to get 3 points and start his Rugby World Cup campaign for 2011.
He sits on 889 test points. He's a sharpshooter, and that one bisecting the uprights. So Wales on the board by 3 points to 0.
It's a lot of support for the Welsh all around town. You see them in their droves supporting their team on their way to possible a playoff spot.
Here's Kotza then for Namibia. He had such a wonderful start to the tournament. Wyn Jones going to ground, playing in the red headgear tonight. Tavis Noyle, the scrum half for Wales, number 9. Chase from halfpenny. That's a well-judged kick, taking play almost to the halfway line. His father, Brynmore Williams, toured New Zealand with the British and Irish Lions back in 1977. Hugo Horn, who's the Namibian record holder. Well taken by Cole to Kotza. Oh, not watching the ball there. De La Harpe coughed it up. It's Aled Brew on the left wing.
Not great communication, Matthew, down there in the midfield by Namibia. Seem they're not sure what to do with this ball.
Well, they did all right, didn't they, early on in the competition. Fiji, they had a couple of good passages of play, and they've had their moments, Copus, but that time they're falling flat. And opportunity now in terms of the breakdown from the Welsh midfield, or the Welsh wings there. Again, they've got the opportunity to put it over the corner here. There is a reasonably strong breeze here at Taranaki Stadium.
Pause. Engage.
There's a brutal engagement there by the Welsh front row, but they lost their footing. And it's against Jenkins.
Yeah, but over eager by Jenkins there, not waiting for the call from the referee. Went early.
So we are on the 10-metre line in Welsh territory. As Hugo Horn has passed Herman Linfeld's Namibian record. It's his 35th cap. Ten-metre line to Kotsar. That's Newman Hayes. Good setup to Toy. He's retiring after this game. Jack Berger coming into scrum half. That's Duplessis. Namibia putting some phases together, but again letting themselves down. That was Rear Linghais, the prop.
They'll be very disappointed, especially Berger. Not looking sharp in these early stages, Namibia. A lot of handling errors.
It's also important to point out 4 days ago they played the might of the Springboks, didn't they, Cobus? 14 days, 4 games. It's a big ask for the Namibians.
You're right, they would have been sapped their energy.
Too far apart.
Very, very tough pool they involved in.
Thank you. Cheers. Yep. Thanks. Crouch. Touch. Pause. Engage.
Goodwill, and here's Falatau, the youngster who's created such a huge impression. Back now to Davis. Massive man, over 120 kilograms. St Jones looking for Halfpenny. Van Beek got in the way and took it well. He's played as a starting outside centre in the first 3 games. Here's Kotsar. And there's plenty of open territory out to the right, but he's put that straight down the throat of Stephen Jones. And Alan Brunau. Nice step off his left foot. Good tackle by Duplessis. Just short of halfway in Welsh territory. Beautiful hands, Halfpenny. Here we go. Williams, the youngster. Too much pace. It was a brilliant injection by Lee Halfpenny from the right wing. And what a fantastic moment in his first World Cup appearance for Scott Williams.
Shows you what happens when you join the line with the speed, the right timing, the angle of the run. Brilliant 5-pointer for Wales.
Nicely, the inside ball, and we know about Halfpenny. The inside ball, and we know about Halfpenny. The inside ball, and we know about Halfpenny. Made a lovely ball, and we know about Halfpenny. Made a lovely break, didn't he, against the Samoans at Waikato Stadium. And good try, first up to the Welsh. Good execution. He'll be a happy man, Warren Gatland.
He's a big boy, Scott Williams, but he's got pace as well.
Well, there's quite a nice link there, isn't there? 4 Scarlets, 4 from Llanelli Scarlets, 9, 10, 12 and 13. All play for the same club. So there should be some continuity, there should be some consistency about the Welsh back play tonight.
And Stephen Jones now following through to the target and hitting the post. But it's Wales setting the early tempo after some mistakes by Namibia.
Just see the inside ball there, and that's just running it hard and speed, and nice timing of the pass. And yeah, you're right, he's a big guy, isn't he? Got some big backs, the Welsh.
This is Ryan Jones. Tackled 14 metres from the halfway line. Stephen Jones calls for it. There's Williams, the try scorer. Good defence there from Namibia. Referee Steve Walsh telling the outside backs to stay onside as Lee Byrne comes in from fullback. Referee's got some assistance there from the referee on the touchline. Halfpenny with lovely hands again. Jonathan Davis. Just short of halfway. Back to Noyle here, the scrum half. Faletau, lovely offload. Warburton, the captain. They're having to do a lot of tackling here in the early stages, Namibia. Referee spotting a forward pass.
It's exactly what Namibia don't want to happen, is the Welsh getting momentum, getting phases put together and getting over the advantage line. Faletau, he's done so well in that tackle, got the pass away to his captain Warburton.
Euven Hayes also in defence.
Too far. Black, step. No, move it. Step it up a fraction. Thank you. Crouch. Touch. Pause. Engage.
Eugene Yankees then to feed the scrum.
Your hand hit first. You're the first one to unbind. Number 1, Black.
He's very keen to get the ascendancy, isn't he, Gethin Jenkins?
He's got the experience, but the second time he's been penalised for going early.
And a mistake from Kotza, no touch. And Lee Byrne with that mammoth left boot doesn't quite find the touchline either. Well done there by Yankees. Now Borta's in the line. This is Kotza. Thumping tackle from Brew for Wales, just side. Thumping tackle from Brew for Wales, just inside Namibian territory. Du Toit came in. Advantage here as Cole is slammed to ground. And it's against Lloyd Burns, the hooker. And he was announced in the squad just before the start of the tournament. And he was married at that time. And his wife's still waiting back at home in Newport for the honeymoon.
Well, that was better, Cobus, from Kotza, the number 10, the fly half. Just needed to put it out. Went too far that last time, the second penalty. So this time the Namibians have got a chance. Just got to get their line out ball. Their scrum's under a lot of pressure from the Welsh. Let's see if they can get some momentum from this line out.
Well, this is the ball they won, Matthew. This is a good attacking ball. They've won their balls thus far in the lineup, but they don't get over the advantage line.
Hester Hazer got a hand to it, but it was not a great throw. And quick transference here. And that's a wild kick. Out on the full from just outside the 22.
He won't be happy with that. Not exactly where he intended that ball to go, Scott Williams.
Well, just generally the back play there was just shuffling across the field from the Welsh. That's disappointing. They needed somebody to take the ball up and get across the advantage line.
Stop. Yep.
Hester Hayes at that time. On the 22 now. Berger coming through the centre of the maul, leading the charge, as he's done right throughout the tournament. Kotza. Good hands from Du Plessis, then a bad pass, towed ahead by Davis. Van Zyl, loose pass. Namibia in big trouble here. Numbers on this left side. Williams to Halfpenny again. So busy coming across from the right wing again. Wyn Jones. Noyle.
Look easy, but all from turnover ball. Mistake. And make it look easy, but all from turnover ball. Mistake. And make it look easy, but all from turnover ball. Great running off the ball, Bradley Davis. Look at this. Wild pass, no communication, turnover ball. And from here onwards, it was pressure and more pressure from the Welsh on Namibia. They regain. Look at this lovely pass now. Shrugs off the defenders. Great running off the ball by Alec Brew.
And nice play too from Ryan Jones. Good to see the big flanker, the former captain, involved again, the number 6. And Alan Brew finished it off, but some good play from the Welsh forwards. Their loose forwards starting to really get involved here. Stephen Jones looking to take the extra 2.
Wales halfway to a bonus point. Remember, you need 4 tries for a bonus point. As they get their second try, Scott Williams and Alan Brew, 2 of the outside backs.
Players, isn't he? One of the real pressing players, isn't he? Kobus. One of the real pressing players, isn't he? Kobus of this tournament, the number 8 for.
It's a real thorn in the side of the Springboks. He's got a real thorn in the side of the Springboks. He's got a real thorn in the side of the Springboks. He's got good hands.
Back then to Noyle. Ryan Jones driven back in the tackle. That's a good chase there from Duplessis, and Jacques Burger was a bit quick. And it's found the touch. Lee Byrne just encouraging his fellow backs. It's a 10th Rugby World Cup match for this man, Hugo Horn, which is a Namibian record. Esterhazy. Safety ball at the front. To Kotze now. Let's see if they can get the execution right. They're flat-footed and well behind the advantage line. Waters in. Taken by Williams. To Kotze. Fansao to Kotze. Fansao with Kotze. Fansao was in, and Damas. All very lateral and static from Namibia. Back again to scrum half Yankees. Charged down by Ryan Jones. And that's Van Wyk in the last line. The former Jones is looking to play on quickly. The former Welsh captain is looking to play on quickly. The former Welsh captain. Still an advantage here. They weren't back 10. And there he goes, Faletau. He scored that try against South Africa, and now he gets his second Rugby World Cup try against Namibia.
Their execution under phase, under pressure, that's where they started. But their execution under phase, under pressure, that's where they started. But their execution under phase, under pressure, that's where they started again. But their execution under phase, under pressure, that's where they started again. But their execution under phase, under pressure, that's where they started to get into trouble. Their execution under phase, under pressure, that's where they started to get into trouble. There was the execution under phase, under pressure, that's where they started to get into trouble. There was the big charge down. And this man here is starting to leave a pretty good impression on Rugby World Cup 2011.
Yes, he came across to Wales as a 4-year-old from Tonga with his dad. And Stephen Jones adds the extras. And Wales quickly out to a 22-0 lead. 3 tries, 1 more for a bonus point.
Not great defence by the Namibians, but he took the short pass, Faletau, and you're not going to stop him a couple of yards out from the try line.
Samoan certainly took it to Faletau in the second pool game, but he stood his ground extremely well. Ryan Jones again has received a couple of kickoffs and some opportunity here for Van Zyl. He's kicked it straight into Faletau. Opposing props here with the referee.
Boys, technically, you're listening. You're not charging in, okay? And you're not technically, you're listening. You're not technically accurate at the moment. I need you to give me 2%. Otherwise, because you're not technically accurate, I'm going to be forced to blow penalties. Okay? Let's go in. It's both guys, okay? Over here.
Matthew, you just got to love it by prop from the props. not eyeballing each other or the referee.
Trying to leave an impression with Warren Gatlin, isn't he? Listening, but Jenkins is trying to leave an impression with Warren Gatlin, isn't he? He wants, but Jenkins is trying to leave an impression with Warren Gatlin, isn't he? He wants the #1 spot back. And at the same time, you've got to admire Toy as well. He's 23. He wants 23rd cap. He doesn't want to give an inch as well, so he's going to give his best tonight as well.
And huge pressure. The 5-year-old on this side against the 30-year-old. And huge pressure there from Jenkins and the Welsh scrum. And the referee said, I want you technically correct.
Yeah.
Jenkins was the man who responded.
Well, they'll have to sort it out, guys, because it's the 4th or 5th penalty all on this side of the scrum by the referee.
I think it's the United 8 from the Welsh, isn't it? It wasn't a bad hit from the Namibian Toy as well at the start, but then it's just the heat coming on Cobus from the engine room coming from the Welsh side.
It's here. Lloyd Burns here. Just short of halfway Welsh territory. Noyle. Hooker Burns then is the acting scrum half. Hooker Burns then is the acting scrum half. 22-0 for Wales. Tries to Williams, Falatau and Brew. And just through the first quarter of the game. Good tackle there by Duplessis. Welsh very static from the Welsh at the moment. Very static from the Welsh at the moment. They've lost about 5 Duplessis. And assisted there by Duplessis. And assisted there by Duplessis. And
up Gordon for the Namibians, number 17. Up Gordon for the Namibians, number 17. We've got Raoul Larson. He's going to be replacing Johnny Riedlenhuis. So an early change there.
Yeah, Riedlenhuis has a torn ear. So very courageous of him to be playing. And he's going to depart the scene. He sustained that injury against Samoa.
Well, he's gone onto the tight head too, Cobus, hasn't he? And the toy's gone across the loose head.
Yeah, I think the Namibian coach trying to see what he can do technically to prevent these penalties or the scrum dropping.
Crouch. Touch. Pause. Engage.
Again, a massive shot there from the Welsh. This is Van Zyl and Yankees. Just need to get the ball over the advantage line. First priority as Berger does. Yankees working to Kotza. It's Van Zyl again. Oh, that was De La Harpe actually.
Slow it down, number 2, I think.
No advantage.
Well, that was a better passage of play from the Namibians. There's a good cut back there from Van Zyl. And they just had the second phase, went again the same way. A lot better play. And has ended up with a penalty and infringement from Lloyd Burns, the Welsh hooker. Just slowing down the movement.
The Welsh not allowing that midfield in Namibia any space. They just need to get more momentum, especially in the back line. They're a bit flat-footed. But this penalty going Namibians' way.
And I'm thinking, Cobus, they just have to try and do the cuts, do some variation. They've tried a couple of grubbers, but maybe they need to go high, even put one right up in the air, because they're finding it very difficult against this pretty staunch Welsh defence.
Yeah, and this guy, Kotza's got a great boot in him, so he must use that a bit more. Put it in the corners, try and play, make the Welsh turn around, play there.
Now Kotza from 56 metres. He kicked a 57-metre penalty against Fiji in Rotorua. He had the distance, but he's just pushed it.
Yeah,
Johnny Riedlenhuis.
real keen.
Johan Dierhart in the centre, the head coach of the Namibian team. Taken ahead by Ryan Jones. Stephen Jones. Almost down to the 22 on the fly. This is Kotza, the fly half. Mallet Brew calls for it. Just short of halfway. Plenty of support from his teammates. They've been very successful down this left-hand side, and that man Halfpenny has been very involved from the other wing.
Thank you.
Jenkins lost it backwards. Sloppy play. Duplessis pounced. Opportunity here for Larson, who takes ahead almost to the 22. Well, players just getting in the way there.
That'll be frustrating to the Namibians. Just again battling to get that momentum going.
Yes, it's a little bit about structure, isn't it? And the third, fourth, fifth phase, that's when they start losing that structure. Big forwards in the way there of Berger, the captain. And but a good intent shown by Namibia, and that's the important thing, that they want to go out knowing that they've given it 80 minutes and they've maintained. Let's remember they lost, you know, the last 20 minutes against the Springboks. 7 tries went in. So it's about playing 80 minutes in their last game.
Pause. Engage.
That's a better scrum from Namibia. And here's Faletau. Noel here. It's a messy, slow. He's trying to pull bodies out of the way. Berger has to get out of there. Alain Rollin, who was in charge of France and New Zealand on Saturday night at Eden Park on this touchline. Back now with Borta. Well taken by Fonsail, but he was certainly put under pressure and then showed good determination. Yankees. Faletau underneath. Big strong runner. Well taken there by Esterhazy. Stephen Jones. And that's the hooker, Burns. Now, a chance for Duplessis. Mistake there by the Welsh. Delahat to Kotza. Berger's outside, and Dam is with him. Faletau, who's been averaging nearly 20 tackles a match. Quickly playing on there is Borta to Lee Byrne. Burns going for a gallop here. Tackle was high. It wasn't really malicious, but certainly above the shoulders. Referee playing advantage. Davis, the big lock. Now Noel to Stephen Jones. Jonathan Davis, quick hands there for Ryan Jones.
I think he's just too tall here. I think it's Nico Esterhazy. And yes, the guy chopped in. I think it was the Welsh fullback Lee Byrne. We'll see it shortly, but I think he's just a bit too tall, isn't he? The big arm came out above the shoulder and been pulled up for the penalty.
But a good advantage played by the referee. Jones steps up to the plate. Will he be going for touch? Yeah, they're looking for that bonus point, the Welsh. Got 3 tries already.
Just the discipline standards. You guys are a bit keen. Don't rush it, okay? Let's go.
Keen and frustrated.
Okay, thanks, mate. Time back on. No,
Warburton with a very good charge. Only 10 metres out now.
Number 17 on his feet. Number 17 on his feet, all right. Right, no.
Good work then, Matthew Cooper there by Raoul Larson.
He's had a good impact, Gordon. Raoul Larson, he came on, and he just talking again, Steve Walsh. There's the charge by Sam Warburton, this young star on the horizon, the Welsh captain. And there he is, number 17. Now he's come on, Cobus, and he's scrummaging very, very well against a pack that's going backwards. And then we just showed what he can do around the field as well.
Yeah, it made a great change to the scrum by moving into the tight head and the tway to the left-hand side. But great work by the prop, winning at penalty.
It's the sort of inspirational deed that the Namibians need at the moment. They've been under the hammer, but they really have let themselves down with their handling. They've been quite tentative in the face of the rushing Welsh defence. Esterhazy did well again to Kotze now. And he's tried to weight it, but the bounce read beautifully there by Williams. Lee Byrne in to Brew, taken by Berger.
Squeeze ball. Not quick enough, man over top.
So he tried to put that one through his legs, I do believe, Cobus.
Yeah, good refereeing by Steve Welsh. He was just holding onto that ball with his knees a second or two to give his men a chance to get there to clean out.
Just passages again of good play from Namibia. The line-out take by Nico Esterhazy, and just the defence there from skipper Jacques Berger. There are just passages there. This team just needs more rugby, doesn't it? They just need to be playing in between the 4-year periods. Just give them more rugby. There's some really good passages of play. Unfortunately, when the heat goes on, 5 or 6 phases, the accuracy lets them down.
Esterhazy again is the money man at the front. Tian Kotze to De La Harpe. And Jacques Berger has made another solid 7 or 8 metres. This is Larson. He's really having a crack.
Yep, he's okay, he's on his feet.
Ball's been pinched there by Wales. And a chance to counter here. This is Davis. Midway 22 and halfway Welsh territory. It's Williams. Well, the Namibians have certainly tightened up their defence now. They're not missing as many first-time tackles. And great credit to Larson, who's really lifted them since he's been on the field.
Unplayable. Unplayable.
Matthew, just going back to your comment on Namibia, they need game time. You're right. Half this team are still amateur players, and they've gained some great experience in this World Cup, and a lot of these players will be available for the next World Cup. So hopefully, you know, they'll up their game even more then.
Well, Cobus, I've just seen some good passages. There are times, we know that the skill level lets them down, but there are times too when you see some very good passages of play as well.
Yes, please.
Going to be a change too. We're going to see for the Namibians, we're going to see number 12 come off shortly. Daryl De La Harpe. Injury.
Well, it just hasn't been working.
Gordon or injury.
Well, it just hasn't been working in midfield, has it?
Yeah, Gordon, you're right. I think the best combination would be Dani van Beek and Piet van Zyl. They've showed some great promise earlier games for Namibia, and you're right, this combination tonight just didn't work for them.
And I think they'd probably be looking for Tian Kotze, you know, to maybe take the ball at a bit more pace. He's just standing still, receiving the ball, and the Namibian backs are easy targets for the Welsh defence.
Yeah, number 22, David Philander, coming on for the Namibians. Just be interesting to see what the backline shape happens here, Cobus, and where Philander goes in terms of the setup.
Well, they probably shift him, Matthew, up to the wing.
Absolutely.
And bring Van Beek to the centre, which makes a lot of sense. These two guys have been playing together for quite some time now.
Well, they've been looking for some more thrust and pace, but this is the settled centre combination that has done well for Namibia in the tournament. The experiment not working with De La Harpe, and look at Faletau. Good tackle by Van Beek. Steady build up here by the Welsh. Davis. Just slightly overrun there by Lee Byrne, so he wisely held on to the pass. This is Bradley Davis then to Stephen Jones. Grass low there by Berger. In two minds here, Brew. Tigerish defence from Namibia. Taken ahead by Scott Williams.
Thank you. No blue. Advantage offside.
This is Jenkins. Wyn Jones. Wales being very patient here.
Number 13 blue offside.
Ryan Jones wants it quickly here. Let's up the tempo. It's right out in front of the post.
Cheers. Yeah.
Yeah, just on that point about Namibia's lack of major test matches. They've had 4 major test matches here, and it's the first time they've had that sort of competition since the 2007 Rugby World Cup.
Guys, it's over here. 13 blue offside. Yeah.
And they've had mission impossible here at this World Cup because they've had 4 major test matches in basically 14 days, 16 days.
You're right, Gordon. It's nearly been an impossible task for them, and you can see the players, you know, they're hurting. Not a lot of break in between these tough games. But again, they'll put this in their bag of experience for the next World Cup.
And that man Berger said, "We are not complaining, we're just thrilled to be here."
Touch. Pause.
Over anxious there, Namibia. Just a free kick.
This is a good opportunity because they want to draw in the Namibians, and this is a good opportunity, isn't it? Set piece in the middle of the field here at Taranaki Stadium, and you've got some absolute blistering pace outside with the likes of Halfpenny and Lee Byrne. So good opportunity, but the key is trying to get quick heel because they're too strong. They're too strong up front for the Namibians.
Crouch. Crouch. Touch. Pause. Engage. Hammer. Free play. Straight on the ground.
And you can see a very pleased Yanni du Toit, the oldest man on the field, fifth oldest in the tournament.
High fives all around for Namibia.
I've now spoken. This will be the 3rd time, okay? I'm not going to speak again. You guys, neither scrum is taking ownership of what's happening here, okay? Okay, we cannot have every scrum where guys are putting their hand on the ground or attempting to run around. Sure. Okay. You're leaving the onus on me, and I will go to the next step and get rid of somebody. Okay, guys, you've got 5 minutes till half-time. Suggest you get...
There was Craig Mitchell.
Yeah, both players not really getting outside.
From there was Craig Mitchell.
Yeah, both players not really getting outside.
There was Craig Mitchell.
Yeah, both players not really getting outside.
There was Craig Mitchell.
Yeah, both players not really getting outside.
Craig Mitchell.
Yeah, both players not really getting outside.
Craig Mitchell.
Yeah, both players not really getting outside bind correctly. Both players not really getting outside bind correctly. Both players not really getting outside bind correctly. Which players not really getting outside bind correctly, which didn't help very much.
Esther Hazer again. Now Kotsa content to put it up high. Berger coming through. And all about keeping your eye on the ball there is Jones. Now to Davis. Tackled by Hugo Horn. Wyn Jones. Wyn Jones. Namibia are able to slow that ball down. And have they got a turnover here? Indeed they have on the halfway line.
Last feet here.
That work was done by Tinus du Plessis at the breakdown point. Work was done by Tinus du Plessis at the breakdown point. Work was done by Tinus du Namibia.
Oh, outstanding.
Namibia.
Oh, outstanding, Cobus. And there's the turnover. And the lovely little kick there from Yankees. And they've had a very good 10 or 15 minutes, haven't they? After the 3 tries to the Welsh.
Starr now enjoying his role in the 15. Former 7 aside. Starr now enjoying his role in the 15. Former 7 aside. Starr now enjoying his role in the 15. Former 7 aside. Starr now enjoying his role in the 15. 7 aside. Starr now enjoying his role in the 15. 7 aside. Starr now enjoying his role in the 15s. Aside. Starr now enjoying his role in the 15s. That's Cole. But they've lost about 10 metres. Still on Namibia's side of halfway. And kick and chase again. Dames coming through on this ball. Lee Byrne, safe and sure. Namibia has really lifted in this second quarter.
Especially at the breakdown point, they've been very competitive.
Well, they're starting to use the aerial game a bit too, aren't they? And putting very good pressure on. And the Welsh team just starting to fall off a couple of tackles. There'll be perhaps a pretty stern talking by Warren Gatlin when they go into the interval. A good defence too, and there he is. It's the captain, isn't he? And they're having a couple of good chats to them as well, isn't they? And they're having a couple of good chats to them as well, isn't they? And they're having a couple of good chats to them as well, isn't they? Just talking. And they're having a couple of good chats to them as well, isn't they? Just talking. The Namibians just talking away. They're going to go for goal. Opportunity to get points on the board. I like this guy, Gordon. I think he's a very good first 5. And he's had a good tournament.
Well, what a dream start to the tournament too, Matthew Cooper, with those 3 drop goals and his 57-metre penalty against Fiji at Rotorua. It was a stunning start. And his 3 drop goals head the tournament. This is well over 50 metres as well. Nice strike. Oh, he's Jones. He's Jones. He's Jones. He's Jones. He's keen to run this ball out. Faletau bumps off one. And taken nice and low by Duplessis again. Wyn Jones. Namibians have really upped the ante. They're making their tackles now. Berger again in for a big hit. It's Ryan Jones. 15 from halfway. Noyle. That's Mitchell. Wales looking for a bonus point before half-time. We've got some good numbers here. Halfpenny grasped beautifully by Berger again.
Oh, Jacques Berger again. Gordon, outstanding.
He's playing like a man possessed at the moment with his back row partner Duplessis. Terrific defensive effort here by the Namibians. Back for Noyle and Jones. Well cleared by Wyn Jones. Jonathan Davis chases, and here's Brew. A elusive bounce. And that is half-time here at Stadium Taranaki. It's Wales with 3 tries in that first half, leading Namibia 22-0.
Well, they need to come back, put together more of this kind of play in the last 10 minutes of the first half, in the whole 40 in the second Namibia.
Well, the Namibians have conceded at least 5 tries in all but one of their 14 World Cup matches. They've conceded 3 in the first half. Wales still need 1 more for a bonus point. At half-time, it's 22-0.
At these Rugby World Cup matches, colourful supporters.
Well, New Plymouth have really hosted splendidly. This is their 3rd and last game. Half-time score at Stadium Taranaki, and it's Wales in this Pool D clash against Namibia, leading by 22 points to 0. 3 first-half tries to Scott Williams, Aled Brew, and Toby Faletau, the 20-year-old number 8, and Stephen Jones with a couple of conversions and also a penalty as he closes on that magical 900 test points. And Namibia still scoreless. Remember, they lost 87-0 to South Africa 4 days ago. With me is Cobus Visa, but Johan Dierhard, I'm sure, would be very pleased with that last 20 minutes.
He'll take a lot from that, but his team needs to lift themselves. It's their final 40 minutes of this World Cup. They must really go out there and play out of their skin, but they need ball in hand. They need to get that back line moving forward.
Warren Gatland having made so many changes to his side. And 11, in fact. And perhaps a little bit of cohesion has let them down. But certainly it's a great opportunity to give the fringe players an opportunity. And there was Lee Halfpenny coming in to create for Scott Williams.
Yeah, it was a great work by this young winger, joining the line, but this big centre sending him away, scoring great time. Look at the perfect inside pass, all with pace and the timing. And Williams going hard for the corner.
Yeah, another one of the exciting young players, just 20 years of age. Big work by Bradley Davis there, and Aled Williams had a straight sprint to the line.
Tight forwards and the backs combining well. Shrugs off the defence, and in the little short pass, great timing of the run by the big winger Brew, and he jogs over for 5.
And there's Ryan Jones, and that really put them under pressure. Van Beek was there, but watch out for the big Welsh number 8, who gets on the scene very quickly here.
All started with a quick tap by Jones, taking the game to the Namibians. And then a little short pass. Falatau, he wanted to get over that line, and he did.
Rampaging finish there by the 20-year-old number 8 for Wales. A big bolter selection, and he's really put his stamp on this World Cup. So the half-time score, 22-0. Wales needing another try for their bonus point. But a very stern resistance from the Namibians in the second quarter. It really is a delightful evening in New Plymouth as the Namibian players and their Welsh counterparts take the field at Stadium Taranaki. There's a big crowd in, and the Welsh certainly clearing out in that opening stanza of the game, showing some great touches, scoring some lovely tries, particularly the first one to Scott Williams, where we saw Lee Halfpenny and Jonathan Davis with some lovely interpassing. But Namibia, Matthew Cooper really coming back strongly in that second 20 minutes.
Well, they rattled them, didn't they, Gordon? They rattled the Welsh, and maybe the Welsh 11 changes. They're just struggling to get their game together. Guys must be trying too hard. But full credit, their line-out's working well. There's been a good introduction from Larson at tight head, and they had a good passage, so let's just see how they can go.
Tian Kotze gets the second half underway here at Stadium Taranaki. It's Pool D, the so-called pool of death, and Wales leading Namibia by 22 points to 0 at the break. Wyn Jones takes ahead, but he's met solidly. And a couple of the big tight forwards for Namibia. Lieburn now on that trusty left boot. Was taken by Botha. He wants to land it inside. That's classic stuff from the fullback. He's been one of their best in the tournament.
He's been doing very well from the back tonight. Not so many chances and opportunities this time around. Well-judged kick.
He scored a great try against Fiji. No changes to either side after half-time break. And I'm sure Johan Dierhard would have said no mistakes, we want discipline, and we don't want any turnovers. This is Philander. probing taken by Faletau, who was smashed out of the way there by
Captain, bring him back.
Juvenhuis. And there's a good kick from Yankees. Playing good territory again. Eugene Yankees, who says he's modelled his game on Jimmy Counts.
Well, probably on Dechard, Namibian coach, telling his boys half-time, kick for territory. We want to play in their 22.
Wyn Jones allowed it to go through there to Ryan Jones. It's hard keeping up with the Joneses in this Welsh team. Back now to Dames. He missed it. Warburton's there. Noel to Jones. This is Davis. Just taken low there by Van Fake. Desperate tackle. Not much on this short side. Obstruction the ruling.
And maybe we'll be happy with this. Not a good take by Damas. And then Warburton, he's been all around the park in the first half. The captain just driving on as they start to get momentum. A bit of obstruction and breathing time for Namibia.
Okay, Carlo. Hold.
Well, if they're going to bring in their big man, he's been the go-to man, hasn't he, Nico Esterhuis?
Just waiting for him.
And
Time off.
here he is. He's a bit slow, isn't he, coming to the lineup? But look at the size of him.
205.
And,
Matthew.
And he's just outstanding. He's don't know what he does, but he's tell you what, he wins the guaranteed ball all the time.
And that's Heinz Colley's partner at the front. Kotzer then in behind Lee Halfpenny, wanting a nice little off break. We'll call that one a leg break, won't we?
Well, Cobus, in Test rugby, there's been 3 outstanding kicks from the Namibian side, and they're just putting the pressure on, which is outstanding, just keeping it right in that territory of the Welsh side.
Faletau. There's the gap. Almost ankle tap the first time. Berger told to roll away. There's an overlap here. This is Davis. Burn outside, but Jonathan Davis still going. Halfpenny and Brew. He's already scored one. Picked up there by Yankees. In a nick of time. Little knock on. It was really very impressive sortie there out wide by the Welsh backs in particular. Nice interchange, and Jonathan Davis showing his class.
Desperate defence by Namibians, had to scramble all over to prevent this try. Looking for support, good show of the hands. Not great defence by Namibia. But good support play by the Welsh team. Brew looking for that try line and then just losing the ball forward. He's disappointed.
Lee Halfpenny getting a little bit of treatment for Wales back on the 10-metre line. Been very impressive. There's Jonathan Davis. He's had a very strong game. He's a good runner, isn't he? He's got some speed. And in fact, the Welsh backs, when they get a little bit of space, they are looking very likely. Halfpenny's back into position.
Crouch. Touch. Pause. Engage.
That's a good scrum again from Namibia. Picked up by Noel. Stats from under the nose there of his opposite. Brian Jones then. Straight into Duplessis.
Number 5.
It's only 10 metres out here. Faletau. Noel to Warburton. That's a big hit there from Jacques Berger. Here's Jones.
Release.
Franzal was there. pulling off some very big hits in close. Faletau taken over the top, but he offloaded well. Stephen Jones goes to ground. Went backwards. Oh, he's gone straight through Scott Williams. He bounced off them like a pinball.
Well,
So,
sometimes the shortest route is straight ahead, and that proved to be the point with Scott Williams. Another 5-point and a bonus point try.
well, Matthew Cooper, 16 missed tackles from Namibia in the first half, and it's come back to haunt them here after doing so well in that area.
Well, they did. They tackled very well, the Namibians, just before half-time, but here it is there, all power. He's a solid customer. The midfield's actually very good. The Welsh midfield, just some nice lines, some good hands. They've met some pretty stiff defence from the Namibians, but that's important. Warren Gatland gets his first chance now for this group to get their bonus point from scoring 4 tries early in the second half.
And that's a third conversion for Stephen Jones. So he's up to 9 points now.
Bit of a rolling pass, but well picked up by this man. He's strong, straightforward, straight ahead. 5 points.
Faletau again taken by the workaholic Berger. Have to be on your feet.
Hey, good steal, he just went on the ground. Played it. You got to your feet without throwing it.
We've spoken a bit about Berger, but also Duplessis, Tins Duplessis, the blindside flanker. He's also putting in a lot of work off in terms of defence as well.
Specker of Namibia has been one of the highlights of their tournament, putting in so much hard work. Nivenhuis, Duplessis and Berger putting in tackles, stealing balls at breakdown point and carrying it up. As a unit, they perform really well.
Time for the Welsh captain to have a spell. He's had a pretty busy 2.5 games, hasn't he? Been replaced by Andy Powell, number 19.
And Powell immediately gets into the action. He's a loop from Jones, but he was a decoy. Noyle to Powell. Good offload. Halfpenny. Clever kick. Philander there first. Solid aggressive tackling though from Halfpenny. Taken here by the Yankees. And he looks for the safety of touch, but not for long because they're away again here. Davis. Nice angled run from Jenkins, the prop. Still going. Jenkins! Can he go all the way? That's the most popular try of the night.
That's probably the most popular try of the millennium in Wales. Gethin Jenkins. He would turn around saying, all I need now is a 1 in front of the 3 on my back, because he ran like a centre.
Well, Matthew Cooper, that'll be a 60-metre try by the time it gets to his grandchildren.
Well, it's been a great comeback, hasn't it, from Jenkins? He's been injured, had a lot of calf injuries, foot injuries, but then he just started the big charge. And here he goes, he puts the hammer down. It's like a charging bull. The Welsh Dragons over.
Well, Coop, you've got to appreciate that show of the hands a couple of times.
He's had a frustration with the injury. He had an operation on his toe and missed the end of the Six Nations, but he certainly showed plenty of toe there, didn't he, for a big man?
Oh, beautiful rugby. That'll creep out later on in the night, Cobus. That'll be about a 70-metre effort. It's Warren Gatland very happy to see the big prop go over for a try.
As a former forward, he'll really appreciate that. Great work by Gethin Jenkins.
He's a former front rower, wasn't he, Warren Gatland?
Absolutely. Played a lot of rugby in the Waikato.
$36-0 then in favour of Wales. And that last conversion has actually taken Stephen Jones past 900 test points. Mitchell did well. This is Noyle, Powell, Jones. They're calling for it out wide. Davis. 12 from halfway. Back to Williams. Burns in from fullback. And Philander, the tackler. Stephen Jones again. Good work there by Burns. He's working into space now. Wyn Jones. Newman Hayes, the tackler. This is Davis, the other lock. And maybe some of the forwards looking very tired at the moment. Wales just working them over from side to side. Davis, but there's Berger underneath. We're on the halfway line. Powell taking the ball at pace. Jones intercepts. Esterhazy to Cole. He threw a dummy. Cole, can he go all the way? Hines Cole, the big lock. Magnificent. It's raining tries for the tight forwards.
Well, they'll certainly be cheering that right from the southern tip of Namibia up to Grootfontein. Great try by the second rower.
One of the moments he'll never forget. The day he scored a try at Taranaki Stadium in New Plymouth.
Good interception by Esterhazy. But then his locking partner, show the hands. The dummy, he pins his ears back. Full throttle for the corner.
And that's his second try in this Rugby World Cup. But what about Nico Esterhazy with the offload and Cole?
Oh, look at that. The second rowers, they'll do it together in partnership. Man, that's a beautiful moment in Rugby World Cup.
Smiles all round. The crowd loved it. And this to become the highest point scorer. He's got it. He's the first Namibian to score 2 World Cup tries, Hines Cole. And we have a new record scorer in World Cup history. This man now with that conversion.
Great show of the hands, Hines Cole. Look at him, look at the determination. The will to get to the try line. Well played.
Well, they nearly went again there, but Brewers picked up the crumbs.
Well, they almost got away again there. Danny van Wyk, he almost took the ball, and that could have opened up again for the Namibians. So Wales just under a little bit of pressure. Here's the kick there. If he'd taken that, he had a chance to head down as Brew recovered for Wales.
Esterhazy with a loose ball there for Yankees. I think they're all exhausted after that last try.
Well, you look for special moments, don't you, Cobus? And, you know, that will be one of them when you look back and you see those 2 locks injured there for Hines Cole.
Kalata. And Namibia might have pinched it here. Yankees. And they played the touch very well in the second half. Back to Lee Byrne. Halfpenny here. Trying to find a gap up the middle. Good drive there from Ryan Jones. Back out to Stephen Jones. This is Scott Williams. They've made about 15 metres. Noyle.
Off blue, play on.
Wales still in possession. Mitchell getting in the action. Noyle again. Lovely hands from Jones and Byrne. And the referee said the pass to Lee Halfpenny was forward. The tackle from Yankees might have been a little high too.
I'm off.
Well, this is Gethin Jenkins, the try scorer, having attention. Marginally forward.
Yeah, I think he got it right. Change too for Namibia as well. We've got TG Losper coming on for his 10th cap, and he's going to replace the Namibians. Just an injury concern there too on the other side for Namibia as well. So we'll just have a look at that. There's a pretty battle weary, aren't they?
So I'll keep an eye on it. Yeah.
That's Hugo Horn, the hooker.
Scrum. Blue feed.
Yeah, so that's the end of the night for Danny Damas on the left wing for Namibia.
Your ball. Yeah.
No wind here now, Gordon. It's a
sorry, I'm standing right on
beautiful night here at Stadium Taranaki.
We've seen some astonishing highlights in the second half, really, with Gethin Jenkins with his solo try, and then a riposte from Big Heinz Cole, the 28-year-old from Wanderers.
Well, Matthew, it's really been the evening of the tight five, hasn't it been?
Absolutely. Now, also, you see George North there as well. He's the gun wing, and there's a real problem there, isn't there? Not a problem, it's a nice problem. George North, you've also got the performance of Lee Halfpenny, got Cobus. I'm very impressed by the right wing for the Welsh side, and you throw in Shane Williams. They've got some good resources out on the wing at the moment.
Also, midfield Scott Williams has been impressive for the Welsh side.
So Faletau's got on the open side for Wales as well, and big man Luke Charteris, and he's another excellent player, isn't he, in his 28th cap for Wales. Luke Charteris just about ready to enter the fray as well.
See again, both props there, not holding it outside arm bind, collapsing the scrum.
Yeah, end of the night for Toby Faletau. So Gatlin starting to rest a couple of his gun players. Warburton's off, Faletau off, Luke Charteris into the midfield, into the second row, and that'll mean Alan Wynne-Jones comes onto the side. A pretty big Welsh pack there, Cobus.
Yeah, the experience coming from the bench now, getting a bit of a run, but they've got this one in the bag, they would feel.
Charteris is 126 kilos.
Go on the gap, okay? Not on his head. Let's go.
206 centimetres, so over 6 feet 10.
We've got Alan Wynne-Jones on the blind side as well, Gordon, so she's Andy Powell at the back. She's a massive pack.
Pause!
Yankees to Kotza. And again, happy to go for territory, but this will be easily taken by Byrne. Good low tackle by Van Wyk. He nailed him on the spot. Noel then. Charteris over halfway. That's Davis. A real workhorse for the Welsh. Jones, there must be about 10 to 1 here as Powell goes straight through. Charteris with him. Another tight forward. And picked up by Van Wyk. Cramp setting in for some of the Namibian players. Bodies all over the place.
Do it.
36 plays 7.
Powell's been involved since he got onto the field, got that gap. Charter sort of hung on to that ball. He tried to get it away in the tackle and then the knock on.
You keep an eye on him, Cobus. He gets around the track. He's obviously very big, and he does his job at winning the ball. And that's the end of the night for Tavis. Noel had a good game too, the halfback, been replaced by number 20 Lloyd Williams. There he is in his second cap today.
His first appearance at the World Cup for Lloyd Williams, and what a proud moment for his dad, Cobus. Brynmore Williams, the British Lion and Welsh international.
Yeah, great opportunity for this young man.
Well, will there be one player on the sideline too? Ken Owens, number 16, the hooker for Wales, hoping to make his debut for his country, and that would be very, very special.
Waka Kazombiazi also getting ready to play for Namibia.
Well, some very fatigued Namibian players at the moment. And this is the danger period for them. This is where South Africa cut loose, running in 7 tries.
Thank you.
But they've certainly won the crowd over with this gutsy performance. Remember, they were down 22-0.
Crouch. Touch. Pause. Engage.
It's a massive Welsh pack. Somehow they hold on.
Blue. Yeah. Collapsing, repeating.
Oh, that's a big blow for Namibia.
Well, when you've got a ton, and that is a massive Welsh 8 out there at the moment, a ton of that weight coming down on you. Something's got to give, Cobus.
Well, 7 forwards for the next 10 minutes for Namibia.
Okay. You want to scrum? Scrum it.
Well, they're going to bring somebody on.
Will they bring a prop on? Well, they got a fit prop.
Boys, we need somebody on, please.
So it could be uncontested scrums.
You know, he's coming back now. They're going to go back to Johnny Riddle and Hayes. He'll come back on, and someone will have to be removed.
Is leaving the field, and Newman Hayes is leaving the field, and Newman Hayes is leaving the field. The number 8.
Special moment there too. Ken Owens on debut. I'm sure his family across the other side of the world will be very proud. The man from Llanelli Scarlets will be making his debut shortly. Ryan Barrington on as well shortly.
Crouch. Touch. Pause. Engage.
Here's Powell. Working to Jones. Scott Williams got through the tackle of Kotzer, but Berger's there to manhandle him. Williams got the nice pass away there to Davis. Jenkins crossed ahead by Burns. The men in blue. Gethin Jenkins hurt in that last collision. TC Losper coming into scrum half here. Another replacement as Kotzer has kicked it straight to Byrne. They could be punished here. They're queuing up out wide. This is Davis. Jonathan Davis setting the ball up nicely. Big charge from the Welsh number 5, Wyn Jones.
Captain, you were great. 6 off his feet. Yep, go.
Williams plays quickly. Powell. Caught by Yankees. Coming into the final quarter of the game. Jones, the new Welsh record holder in his 101st Test match. Mitchell, only about 12 metres out. Williams again. And there he goes, number 22, George North. The young man, just 19 years of age, scores his 8th try.
Cracks in the defence, just opening up. Not enough men to defend from Namibia. Another try for the Welsh side.
Well, they've played their hearts out, haven't they? And again, it's just too big, too strong. He's a big man. He's got huge legs, George North, and he's one of these starting wingers. And he's having the last 20 minutes, and he's powerful. Too big, too strong.
Well, he's a 6'5" under the old empirical, and weighing 105 kilograms. Stephen Jones adds the extras, and so it's Wales out to a 43-7 lead. That's a margin of 36 points as they register their 6th try.
And just the pressure, isn't it, for Namibia, the continual barrage from their Welsh side. And a lot of rugby they've played, let's remember that. It's been 14 days, it's been 4 test matches. And it's at that last quarter, as Gordon Bray mentioned. There's Larson in the sin bin at the moment, making sure he's kept it well rugged up.
Yes, it's bad enough having to be a man down, and a huge gap opening up for North. He's a massive man. What a pass, what a pick-up. Davis, Jonathan Davis. He's too slippery. And that's number 7 for the Welsh Dragon.
Well, starting to run riot. Great try, great finish by Davies. Good support play all around for the Welsh. Keep an eye on this youngster, George North. He started it, opened up the defence. Good pass, great pickup. And then the support play. He didn't need his men on the outside. Had enough pace to Davies to go all around.
Yeah, once they broke it too, and there's the kick over there for the Welsh side from Stephen Jones. But once they had broken that, you could see straight away that, and that's the last kick too for Stephen Jones. He's been replaced by Reece Priestland. Good speed too from Jonathan Davis. And the dummy there, good play too from George North. So a few changes here. This is interesting too. Stephen Jones, the man who's just now the most capped Welshman, and Priestland comes over. That's going to be a good battle too between Stephen Jones and Reece Priestland as this tournament goes forward.
That's Andy Powell. Back to North, he's getting involved. They don't seem to be able to put a hand on him. Good tackle by Detoy. Little chip ahead there by Williams. Wales regather. Referee playing advantage. The Namibians are exhausted. Wales know it. As Scott Williams is held up. Wyn Jones doing a Quade Cooper pass. This is Byrne. Well, they're still knocking it back. Play on. Williams again. Priestland. Davies over the top.
21, leave it on the ground.
It's Reece Priestland, who's been outstanding in this tournament as a starting fly half.
Good steal, 6. Right.
He's really been trying his heart out tonight. Tinus du Plessis.
Play on, let's go.
Another one he claims against the run of play. He tackles, gets back onto his feet, and then got his hand on that ball.
The tackle count so far in the game tells the story. 116 tackles by Namibia and 28 by the Welsh team.
3 changes too for Namibia. Gordon, we've got number 20 Ryan De La Pab. He's on for number 9 Eugene Yanchis, and Weka Kazombiasi, number 18 coming on number 4 Heinz Cole, and the last one is at hooker Hugo Horn. He's been replaced by Bertus O'Callaghan. So 3 changes for Namibia, and good to see that they're all having a run now and their chance to finish the last 15 or so minutes in Rugby World Cup.
Well, Matthew, looking at that tackle count, is just impossible for any side to just be defending the whole time.
I think they played with tremendous courage and shown real attitude again in this game, and been a delight to have in New Zealand, the Namibian team.
Good jump by Charteris. Namibia still a man down, remember. That's Wyn Jones. Still plenty of enthusiasm in the Namibian defence. Lovely no-look pass to Byrne. He opens it up. Lee Byrne then. Angling and supported. Big George North gets number 2. Full pace. He's a human bulldozer at full pace.
Just too fast, too strong. Too much support for Namibia to handle. Lee Byrne cuts inside. Good work by the fullback. Weighing up his options. Look at this great pass, getting it away, and then he cuts inside. The big winger, George North, wrong footing to the fence, but he's also strong enough to cross the line.
Well, what I liked about that, Cobus, was the midfield, the nice straight lines. That's what impressed me way back in the Welsh half. The good hand straight lines which put Lee Byrne away, and that's the end result. George North over for the try, but it was just good to see some good angles and that ability to pass under pressure, and that's the balance that I'm liking about Wales at the moment. Remember, 11 changes from their starting lineup against Samoa. They're just starting to show some good signs, some good balance, and this is a very good Welsh side.
Priestland successful with his first conversion, and the Welsh fans like it. 57 plays 7. And the decision by Warren Gatland to take the Welsh team to the Olympic High Performance Centre in Spala in Poland and the cryotherapy chambers has paid big dividends. They experienced temperatures of minus 140 degrees for 3 minutes as North pins his ears back again. Still managed to offload cleverly. Bevington in support now and on the field, the replacement hooker.
Well, he's hungry for the ball in hand. George North, I'll tell you that. Big and strong. He loves running at the defence.
Well, Larson not too far away from entering the fray, so Namibia will be pleased to be back to the complement of 15 players shortly.
Not straight enough for me. Options.
He's a tough marker, Steve Walsh. No pity on the Namibians.
And here they come.
33rd Test match for Steve Walsh in his 4th Rugby World Cup. Now based in Sydney. And Rael Larson back on the field. Full complement then for Namibia.
Black, step. Number 3. Number 3. Thank you.
O'Callaghan, the new hooker. Esterhazy, good work. Oh, Powell with a ball and all tackle. Ryan De La Harpe. Du Toit. He's done a good job today as tight head prop. Losper. Here comes Van Veek. Cleaned up by Ryan Jones. That's very classy stuff from the big man, because he's created something for the outside backs. Lee Byrne. Grasped beautifully there by Van Zyl. But they're still coming in waves.
The man on debut, Gordon.
Ken Owens. First cap for Wales from the Llanelli Scarlets. Priestland goes. This is Williams. They're falling off the tackles, but the support play keeps coming. Williams now. Du Toit went low. Bevington in support. Williams goes left. Scott Williams looking for a hat-trick. What a dream night for the 20-year-old from the Llanelli Scarlets in his 5th cap. 1, 2, 3.
That's exactly what he shows the crowd. Slides over for his 3rd.
Only the 4th Welshman to score a hat-trick of tries in a World Cup game, after Ian Evans, Glenn Webb and Garrett Thomas.
He's been involved initially in that move, then forwards and backs combined well. Not great defence, but Williams crossing for the 3rd time tonight.
Yeah, they've always been good steppers, haven't they, the Welsh midfielders, and here's another one. And he's had a good game too, Scott Williams. Reece Preston lining the kick up, but you've just got to admire, you've got to remember too that this is a very difficult challenge and task for the Namibians. It's been a tough time for them. Preston lines up the goal. 1 from 1 already.
And the kick successful. 64-7 in favour of Wales.
Steps inside and outside, hands off the defenders. Good work again by Scott Williams.
Rowan kicks off, number 19's on for number 16, Duplessis too for the Namibians.
Just outside the 22. Taken ahead by Wyn Jones. Great work there by Wyn Jones again, almost to halfway. And the ball lost forward. Outgunned, but not yielding. And punished when they were a man down. But Namibians are hanging tough here. And that's for Lander at the back.
Oh, that doesn't look great, unfortunately, for Waka Kazombiazi. Looks like he's injured his knee, which has been heavily strapped already. Oh, unfortunately, looks like his game is something of the past.
Well, he had a wonderful moment in the 2007 Rugby World Cup. There was a famous photograph of he and Sebastian Chabal, the caveman. They swapped jerseys after the game. He had a big game that night against the French. So this is very sad for Waka Kazombiazi.
Oh, terrible. He just come on too, which is a real shame. And you can see obviously the pain that he's in, but also the disappointment. So something you're looking around the knee area as well. So very sad end for Kazombiazi.
They're down to 14 men now, just to really rub it in. And also, Cobus, Kazombiazi had actually retired, and he was lured out of retirement for the World Cup. So it's not the way he wanted to finish.
Yeah, not at all, and it's never a great sight to see the stretcher being called on. Let's hope that's not too serious, but it doesn't look great for Kazombiazi.
Well, you're correct. They're down to 14. They can't replace, which is tough. And there's a couple of players there. Let's just talk about number 5 there, Nico Esterhuis, and also the flankers. He's just been outstanding, the captain, hasn't he, Jacques Burger? He's a really outstanding player. This is where it may have happened. Let's just watch the knee. And somewhere in there. Hard to see, isn't it, where it happened?
Yeah, well, I think that's where it happened, and he didn't get up from that point. And he was down from when the previous try was scored. Well, you mentioned Jacques Burger, and what about Tinus Duplessis, the number 6? What a fantastic game he had as well. So just a somber moment for the Namibian team as Waka Kazombiazi departs the scene. That's his last game of rugby. It's also a last performance in the Namibian jumper for Yanni du Toit, the 5th oldest player in the tournament, the tight head prop.
Well,
now move to loose head.
the Welsh crowd are singing along with one of the other Welsh greats, Tom Jones.
Touch. Pause. Engage.
Well, this is where it's going to get very difficult, isn't it, for both sides, and for Steve Walsh, the referee, to control the real imbalance now.
Touch. Pause. Good. That's fine.
They really want to wind down the clock as much as possible here. It's going to be a very long last 6.5 minutes for the Namibians.
Crouch. Touch. Pause. Engage.
It would have been a penalty try.
Oh, that's really inevitable.
The line, it would have been a penalty try.
Oh, that's really inevitable.
It would have been a penalty try.
Oh, that's really inevitable.
It would have been a penalty try.
Oh, that's really inevitable. 7 men in the pack for Namibia. That big Welsh pack just rolling on with him and getting the penalty.
And there's the official man of the match, Tinus du Plessis. In a beaten team, well beaten, but what an outstanding performance, Cobus.
Tournament thus far, the back row of Namibia, the whole tournament thus far, the back row of Namibia, and du Plessis part of them, really fighting like Trojans.
Fabulous moment for Tinus du Plessis.
Young man who spent a year here in New Zealand at the Gisborne Boys High School.
Well, there's no mercy here from this Welsh 8 as Powell offloads to Williams. And Lloyd Williams gets his first test try in only his second test appearance in the Welsh jumper.
Well, too big, aren't they, again? And Andy Powell off the back, and he too quite sharp too with the replacement halfback. Too quite sharp too with the replacement halfback. Sharp too with the replacement halfback. But the defence just not there, not at home. They've only got 14 players now, and there's the captain again, trying his best.
Reece Priestland, who was thrust into the fly half role at the 11th hour with just 10 minutes notice at Twickenham against England. Just hitting the woodwork. Came on at fly half after being selected at fullback and has held that position pretty well ever since.
A real dilemma for that man at the moment. Does he keep going? Another selection quandary for Warren Gatland. Another selection quandary for Warren Gatland.
Well, it could have been a victory over South Africa if Priestland had landed what should have been a straightforward drop goal. Here's Halfpenny, little stutter step. Keep the momentum going. Ryan Jones. Nice little chip over the top by Priestland. Bevington. All the props getting involved. Davis and Priestland. Powell, Byrne and Halfpenny. Byrne inside. And that's another one for the Welsh team, number 11.
Just no way the Namibia team can contain this Welsh side now, running rampant. And Powell and Byrne prominent again in that move.
And that is a record score for Wales in a World Cup game. And remember they finished third in 1987, winning the playoff in Rotorua against Australia.
Geez, he showed real speed, didn't he, Gordon? Ryan Barrington, the replacement prop, good hands. And out to a player that I've been really impressed with, Lee Halfpenny. Just did a nice move there, Halfpenny. He's a good winger. And Burns, the eventual try scorer, just very accurate, this winger, isn't he? And over for the try.
He did very well, Halfpenny, to keep that ball alive. Took the tackle, played it back to Burn, who finished well.
Just doesn't make mistakes, Cobus, Halfpenny. That's what I like about him. And he's a very, very good winger.
Well, he can play fullback. That's where he played against Samoa too when he came on against South Africa or against Samoa. And Priestland not having much joy with his goal kicking. And his pal. And you mentioned Halfpenny. Yes, fullback's his favourite position actually. But even if he's on the bench for Wales, he's a guy who can make a huge impact. Losper then with the restart. Just a minute and a half to go. Well, the Welsh have been ruthless in their second half.
Well, that tells the story. 41 missed tackles. You just cannot win games if your defense is not sharp, especially at this tournament, the World Cup.
Crouch. Touch. Pause. Engage.
Wales scoring 38 points in this last quarter of the game, and you get the feeling there could be more to come. Powell. Just 30 seconds remaining. South Africa running in 12 tries against Namibia in their 87-0 victory. But to a person here at the Stadium Taranaki, they have admired the stoic nature of this Namibian team.
Crouch. Touch. Pause. Engage. Up.
Cleared away then to Priestland. Jonathan Davies to North. He's already got two. Still in play for Jones. This is Williams. Bouncing off defenders. It's Davis. The big lock.
Blue. Release.
Plenty of men out here. Now Scott Williams goes to ground. Wales getting closer. Priestland to Davis. So close. Charteris there. Wales looked as though they came in on the side there as they cleaned out. And there it is, Wyn Jones finishes off proceedings here at Stadium Taranaki. Alan Wyn Jones, who started in every game, gets try number 12.
79 points to 7. They fought brave at times, Namibia, but just too much firepower in the end by the Welsh side.
You saw a clean out there by Powell on the side of the ruck, not spotted by the officials. And
the 12th
Wyn Jones.
Yeah, the 12th try in the end for the Namibians, but they can certainly hold their heads up. In the end, too big, too strong, and just their fatigue set in. But a very, a lot better second half, isn't it, Cobus, from the Welsh?
Yeah, since they brought in some of the big guns like Powell, George North made a huge difference as well.
And the last kick goes through, and a final score of 81-7. So 7 tries scored by Wales, just as South Africa did in the last 20 minutes against Namibia.
Impressive win, bonus point win for Wales, exactly what Gatland wanted.
Yes, they really flexed their muscles against Namibia, and this is where we bid farewell to the Namibian team, because they fly back to Auckland and then they depart for home on Wednesday. But they had some great moments, none better than the try by Heinz Cole, the giant lock in the second half. How good was that? But Wales now look forward to Fiji. Final score here in Taranaki, it's Wales 81, downing Namibia 7. And there's the scorers. Scott Williams with a hat-trick. 2 to Big George North, who was very prominent in the second half. But everyone had a go, but my favourite, I think, was Gethin Jenkins, and I think most of the crowd would agree with that, and those watching at home. And Stephen Jones was very good. He has taken his tally past 900 test points. And the final farewells. Let's now go down to Matthew Cooper, who's with the losing captain, Jacques Burger.
Well, Jacques, firstly, courageous effort again. 14 days, 4 games, but just the Welsh just a bit too strong in the end for you.
Yeah, definitely. That's why they're a top-class team. They came out here, they just blew us away, and we couldn't stop them.
But you wanted courage, you wanted an 80-minute performance in terms of the way you just never gave in. You must be thrilled with your boys.
Yeah, like I said, I'm proud of them. You know, at stages they do look good, and then other stages we don't look as good. We played against a really good side, and played a game 4 days ago against the Springboks, so it was tough. But we're not making excuses. We weren't good enough today. It's the end of the World Cup for us. Wales is going on, and I hope them all the best, and I hope they do well in the future.
Well, Jacques, you've left a mighty impression on New Zealanders. Thank you for the time, and thanks to the Namibians.
Yeah, thanks a lot. I'd just like to say thanks to all the people in New Zealand. They really supported us really well through this month, and good luck to the All Blacks. I hope they do well.
Thanks, Jacques.
Well, I don't think any player has given more than Jacques Burger in this tournament. His work rate is just astonishing. And Namibia, surprisingly, with an edge in the territory. But they had to do a lot of tackling. Wales with a mountain of possession, and the missed tackles were horrendous for the Namibians. But really it was just weight of numbers and sheer power and class from the Welsh team. Final score 81-7. Well, it's a proud night for Wales. They have won another game, a bonus point victory. Here's Sam Warburton.
Well, Sam, in the end, job well done. 12 tries. You must be thrilled with that result.
We got the bonus point, which is what we wanted, and Namibia made it very tough for us, especially at the contact area. I think it's a bit disappointing from our point of view. That's an area we're going to need to look at, you know, our clean-outs and stuff. But, you know, credit to the boys, we got 12 tries and the all-important bonus point.
And the second, just before half-time, just a little bit scratchy for the Welsh, wasn't it?
It was a little bit, you know. I think we might have tried too hard and played in the wrong areas of the field, and a bit more territory would have done, I think, first half. But you know, the game broke up in the second half, and you know, the boys showed their skills, and we got 12 tries, which should be important for a points difference at the end of the group.
Great to see Stephen Jones get the most capped player now for Wales.
Yeah, 101 now. He's overtaking Gareth Thomas. You know, he's definitely a Welsh great, and it was a privilege to play with him today.
Big game against Fiji on Sunday. We'll see you there. Good luck for that.
Thank you very much. And can I also say thanks to the Welsh fans? They've been brilliant. They followed us everywhere. So a massive thank you for them.
Thanks very much.
Yes, that match in Hamilton, and Sam Warburton at 22, the youngest Welsh captain ever. Final score 81-7. Cooper. Coach Johan Dierhart, who's with Matthew Cooper. Coach Johan Dierhart, who's with Matthew Cooper.
Well, Johan, congratulations on the tournament. I know result-wise you didn't get the numbers you're looking for, but you must be pleased and proud of the way your team have played.
Yeah, totally. I think they played with a lot of character and guts, Although the scores didn't say that. The biggest problem we have is, we was not quick enough, we was not accurate enough, and in this tournament it will not help.
What needs to happen to ensure that you can continue your momentum, Johan?
We have to play more this type of rugby, not necessarily against Wales and Springboks and stuff like that, but higher rugby. Not we play in Africa, and Africa we are the second best in Africa, and it's not a struggle to get qualified. We have to play in like the European teams and more often, more tests. We played 4 tests for the year, for 4 years now, meaning it's totally unacceptable.
Well, thanks, Johan. You left some wonderful memories, and travel well home.
Thank you very much.